Gentlemen, if you have pelvic pain, tight hips, or tension down there, but you don't have the time or the privacy to go through a full stretching routine on the floor,
but there's no space,
this video is for you. Because what if I told you there are 3 simple stretches that you can do at the office with no equipment or no floor space necessary? Now you might be wondering, why the heck are you in a suit? You're a physiotherapist, not a lawyer. And that's exactly the point. Today, we're in the office. These are stretches you can do in dress pants, at your desk, in front of your coworkers, and nobody's gonna know that you're stretching your pelvic floor. So if you've got 3 minutes here with me right now, let's go ahead and stretch the hips and the pelvic floor without leaving the desk or without changing the clothes. All right, so before we go to stretch our pelvic floor, we need to first learn how to turn off tension first. So go ahead and grab a chair, sit down, sit tall, and I want you to think about deep diaphragmatic breathing. Hands on the belly, and you want to go inhale through the nose, letting everything expand into the belly, through the ribs, and gently exhale. Try this for a few times. Breathe in deeply, let your belly expand outwards, and as you're doing that, visualize your pelvic floor descending down into the chair. All right, so remember, no squeezing, no bracing, just good inhales into the belly, letting your pelvic floor drop onto the chair. Once you've done that for a few times for 30 seconds, go ahead and stand, and let's move into our first stretch. Number 1 is a standing hip flexor stretch. So stay standing like me. Go ahead and go into a split lunge position. Left foot forward, right foot back. And I want you to visualize leaning forwards here, gently stretching that front of the back hip here. So this is my right leg. Good. Just for a visual, I'll go ahead and turn around. What you want to do, lunge, left foot forward, right foot back, and I'm feeling a really good stretch through this front of my right quad and hip flexor. Good, keep holding. All right, and then we can even incorporate a very slight hand raise this way. What this does is it allows for the abdomen and the anterior fascia to really open up and stretch and hold. As you breathe in, I want you to visualize that pelvic floor descending downwards. Good, and you can do this on the other side. So go ahead, left foot back, right foot forward, lunge forwards. Same idea, lifting the arm, a little bit of a bend. And I'm feeling a really good stretch to the front of my abdomen and my hip flexors. Good, okay, so number 2 is a groin stretch here. I want you to try to target the muscles on the inside of the thigh, going close to the pelvic floor region. So we're standing, we lunge to the side, okay, keeping weight on this left side, but we want to feel elongation through this right side of the groin. So we're here, we stretch. I'm feeling a really good pull and a softening at that groin area. For a bit of an added stretch, this is a little bit more for your obliques here, so we stay in the side position. And I want you to bend your trunk a little bit to the left, opening up this back fascia here. Good, and we go ahead, switch sides. Same idea, stretching front of the hip here, the adductors on the inside. Good, and again, as you breathe, visualize that letting go of the pelvic floor and breathing out. All right, and the third stretch we're gonna do here today is a standing forward fold. This is a yoga position where we're trying to elongate through the back and the hamstrings. And so as long as your low back feels comfortable with this, I'm gonna get you to go ahead and bend forwards here, rounding your back and rounding your spine. And what I feel is a really good pull through the backs of my hamstrings here. And if this position doesn't feel so good on the low back, you can even just come up a little bit higher. This is fine too. And just feeling good elongation through the hamstrings this way. And if you're feeling fairly flexible and you feel like you can go a little further down, go ahead and come down this way. And then I want you to hold on to your elbows simultaneously. And as you're here, I want you to very gently rock your hip a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. And what I'm feeling is a really good pull in my hamstrings and my calves. Gently mobilizing some of those tissues. Holding tension through my hamstrings and the backs of my legs. Sometimes men can feel a really good stretch here into the nerves around the glutes and the low back. Good, and coming back up here, nice. All right, so that's it. 3 very quick stretches you can do at the office with no equipment, no floor space, and your coworkers aren't even gonna know that you're stretching your pelvic floor. Remember, if you have chronic pelvic floor muscle tension, You likely don't need repetitive Kegel training, and instead we need to learn how to down train your pelvic floor and relax the area. So 3 minutes a day, you can do this in the office. There's literally no excuse. If you like my content, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel so we can keep showing this to more men who might need to see it. Thanks for watching.